Hi everyone, it's Natalie Zangon. Hope everyone is doing well, and I hope you had a beautiful Passover. Thank God we had a really nice time, and the weather is so beautiful, so we enjoyed ourselves very well. So I wanted to do a little talk about the concept of the fact that we make bread, the important significance of making bread the Shabbat right after Passover. There's a lot of segula, a lot of mystical teaching, a lot of understanding that it has so much bracha to make bread the Shabbat right after Passover. So let's dissect it a little bit and find out where is that from and what can we learn from it and how do we understand it. Because I believe the essence and the root of things for us to know is really, really important. So I remember years ago, like many years ago, when we moved here from Iran, there were certain things that I saw that we never had in Iran, and I wondered, where did they pick this from? Where did it come from? I never saw it. I never knew about it. And I, as those of you know, I question a lot. Where does this come from? What does it mean? And what does it say? So I remember, like, in my gradual transitioning to living a more and more practicing life, I learned about this concept of lechem shalise, the concept of the key bread, the Shabbat after Passover, and then, like, I went to these bread making classes, and they would encourage you to make your bread look like a key, or like take the house key and put it in, or the key that you wanted to have put it in, and I kept wondering, like, where does that come from? We never had this in Iran. Where is the source? Where does it say it? So I researched, I looked up the Gemara, I looked up the Halacha, I asked, and I found out that many of this is a minhag, it's a custom, it's not a written down Halacha. But I said, what does the word shalise mean? Where does that come from? Where does that concept come from? And why is it even so important to make bread the Shabbat after Passover? Like, where does it come from? So there's two information. One is, next Shabbat has a lot of segulot with making bread at your own home. It's significant to teach you about the importance of the belief and the emunah you have in Hashem. We believe that the months of the years have special mystical power to them from years ago of when the world was created. So next Shabbat actually is the Shabbat that the man, lechem mana, the heavenly bread, started coming down. When the Jews left Mitzrayim, a month later, when their bread and the matzot ran out, next Shabbat was the first time that the man came out. That some went to Moshe and said, where is the bread? We're going to die in the wilderness. Why did you do this for us? And then Moshe said to them that, don't worry, Hashem is going to send us a heavenly bread. And that's when he sent us lechem mana, that started coming down next Shabbat. Mystically, same timing. Then, forward time, 40 years later, after the Jews were in the wilderness for 40 years, getting the lechem mana, 40 years later, the time when they entered Eretz Israel, the land of Canaan, that was the same timing when God gave them the mitzvah of take for yourself from the land and make yourself dough and make for yourself bread. And then the first of those bread, bring me the dough offering, which is called challah, as a gift offering. So again, 40 years later, next Shabbat is the first time that the Jews got the blessing and the mysticalness and the power of making bread with your own hand started next Shabbat. So there's a lot of writing that says those people that never make bread throughout the year, they should make an extra effort to make the bread for next Shabbat. By making the bread, you're saying, Hashem, God, Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the universe, I believe that you hold the key to everything I need. You are the mafteach. You are the one who opens. Mafteach can open up. Mafteach means a key, and also means, it comes from the word of opening up. He could open up the gates to whatever request you have. Just like he provided bread in the midst of the wilderness for your ancestor, he can do anything he wishes for you right now, today, in this time. So that's why it has a lot of segulot. to know that by me coming together and making the dough and making the bread, I'm saying I have belief in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that He's the one that provides for me everything. But there is nowhere that I saw any written document writing anything about a key or the shape of a key. I didn't see that anywhere. However, what I did see is that lechem shlisel, the word shlisel means key in Germany. It means German, that's a German word for the key. When the Jews moved to Germany and Eastern Europe and the Hungarian community and all the European countries.
Can we make
the Hungarian countries, they picked up some of that custom from there. Jewish Press has a beautiful article, you could look it up. So the pagans and the Christians, this timing also falls near Easter. They also have a bread that they make for Easter, for the holiday of Easter. And they believed that when you put the key on the bread, it helps with the awakening and bringing, the prophet back to life. And so the Easter custom was to put the key, excuse me, yes, you can play with it on that side.
The one with oil, flowing and water.
No. Come, I'm gonna just give me a minute. Let me finish this. So, this is my studio while my kids are home. So I'm mothering and I'm doing this video. So it's very real life time. So the Easter custom was to also make a bread. So they have a bread that they make, and you can look it up. Germans have it too. It's called Haferzoft, and the pagans have it. French people have it. Christians have it. Catholics have it. So they make the bread, but on Easter they had a custom to either put a key on it, or put a key inside of it, or put the doll like on top of the bread when it was made. And these holidays were around the same time. But none of the Sephardi countries ever had this custom of a key being put in there. We don't worship idols. We don't worship keys. We don't worship monuments. We don't worship things. We worship God. We worship godliness. And we believe that God in heaven is the one who holds the key to everything we need. Sometimes you could ask for things that's not meant for us. Sometimes you could beg and pray and cry to God, I want this, I want this. What if it wasn't meant for you? What if that was not the life planned out for you? Every human being that gets born into this world has a destiny, has a plan set up for them, things they need to accomplish and do in this world. Sometimes people are so busy running after what they think is good for them that they miss out on everything that's right in front of them, in front of their eyes. So you need to poteach, open up, and see where your life is going and what is right in front of you. So next week, as I said, when you make bread, all you're saying to yourself and your family and your ancestors and everyone else is that I am making bread in lichvod next Shabbat because I believe that God holds the mystical key and has the opportunity to open up for me things that I want.